But just real quick, indulge me here. I'm going to go across. I'm going to give you every division leader and check this out, all right? So, Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. New England Patriots, Tom Brady. San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo. New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees. Aaron Rodgers for the Green Bay Packers, and Dak Prescott for the Dallas Cowboys. That, to me, says that you need an elite quarterback to be successful in today's NFL. It seemed like the Colts did just about everything right. They played solid enough defense on those touchdowns and on a lot of the deep catches that you saw Houston making yesterday. I thought the Colts' coverage on those was fine. Yeah. Right? They weren't just burnt, right? It was good, close coverage, and they put it in there anyway. And that's what a good quarterback does. The Colts did nothing wrong. The Houston Texans were, I don't think they converted once on fourth down. They had a couple of attempts. It seems like they bumbled a little bit, and they won anyway. Yeah. Because Jacoby Brissett is just fine, and Deshaun Watson is elite. And I feel like that's the difference. Yeah, that is. And throughout NFL history, we've seen that. You can win Super Bowls with game-managing quarterbacks. Like, it's been proven. But more times than not, if you got yourself an elite quarterback, you're going to find yourself in a very good position to win a lot of these close-ass games and put your team in positions to win championships. Jacoby Brissett, I like Jacoby a lot. He has the talent, and I think he's very skilled, but he is, at best, an above-average quarterback. Whereas, like you said, Deshaun Watson is on that. He's a superstar in the making. He just makes plays. He just has that it factor about him. Yeah, you just watch him, and it's incredible. Just the way he's just dropping dimes on guys out there. Will Fuller had some incredible catches that were like he ran under the ball pretty well, but just putting it out there where only your receiver can catch the ball, it's incredible. And then when the game was on the line towards the end, when he was ready to finish it off himself, he showed what he can do with his feet too, and ran and picked up a couple first downs. And the guy's just elite. He's unbelievable. Yeah, I knew it was real with Watson. Like, I've been knew it was real, but when the man got kicked in the damn eye and then fucking just threw a touchdown on the same play, I'm like, come on. Yeah, that's stupid. Throw was unreal. Yeah. And I will say this for your boy Jacoby Brissett, though. I think he is above average, and his teammates were not helping him out yesterday. I was watching, and I saw T.Y. Hilton drop two passes that were first down passes that were thrown incredibly well. And there's something to say for, like we talked about, just Will Fuller running under a ball, right? I mean, there's something to that. Your receivers have to make plays. DeAndre Hopkins, obviously one of the best at that, but Brissett, above average. Deshaun Watson, elite. There's no two ways about it. That's how it goes, man. All right, so next game on the slate here, we got Tampa Bay going to Atlanta, division rivalry. Both of these teams are pretty much out of the playoffs. Atlanta, at this point, they're playing spoilers. They beat fucking the Saints a couple of weeks ago, right? Yeah, they sure did. They beat the shit out of the Saints. Atlanta's been playing better ball. I think they won their first two games over the last 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. It's something like that, right? I believe so. Let's take a... They've got 3 wins now, so those 3 wins had to have come recently. They've got 2 wins in a row, so I think they've won 3 out of their last 4, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yep, 2 wins in a row, and that makes sense. They've 2-3 in their last 5, but yeah, they won 2 in a straight. But I frankly can't believe they're this bad to begin with. I think if you had to pick a team that's the most disappointing, at least in the NFC, if we're going to not include the Cleveland Browns, I think that at least the most disappointing team in the NFC would have to be the Atlanta Falcons. They just look like a team that's just lost. Yeah, Atlanta had I've seen a lot of analysts pick Atlanta as Super Bowl contenders, like Super Bowl picks in the NFC. Like the main thing with them was that they was injured last year, and then this year everybody's coming back healthy, but then they kind of just started off bad. They had to win against Philadelphia, and then after that it's just shit to bed every week since. But and division rivalry game should be good at least. Jameis Winston, he's going to throw probably like 5 interceptions again, and then probably like 400 yards. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But let's just go ahead and pick our scores on this one. We can move forward. So right now, Atlanta is the favorites, -4.5. The total there is 52.5. The over/under. We can just pick it. What do you think? Who do you think wins this game? Well, I think Atlanta wins at home. I think Atlanta wins at home head up.
Yeah.
I like the over in that game if we're talking about that. I think the score is going to be about 65 to... It's going to be like a college score that's had several overtimes, I think. Because I think both defenses are banged up. I think Matt Ryan is still capable of playing some good football, especially when he's throwing to Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. That's pretty sick. That's about as good a tandem as you get. And again, that's why I'm so surprised that Atlanta is as terrible as they are. Should be noted, Jameis Winston is one of the top passers as far as yards is concerned, and he's got receivers in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin that are also in the top 3 in yards. They're behind every game, and he is just a classic chucker, it seems.
Yeah, Bruce Arians is just air raid. It's just, we about to throw this ball. You know what we about to do. But, Jameis throws a lot of interceptions, too, so he's leading the league in interceptions right now with 18. We got a score for this game?
Score for that game? I don't know. We'll go 38-30 Atlanta.
Okay, he's close to my score. I got 30-40 Atlanta. High scoring game, I agree.
Yeah.
I'll take the over as well, and then I'll also take Atlanta. But 30-40. Moving on. Denver at Buffalo. And Buffalo are the favorites again, -4.5. Over under is 37.5. Denver traveling from Midwest to the East Coast. That can play a little bit of a factor. They're on their third string quarterback right now. They've been playing hard. Denver has been playing hard. They they should have beat the Minnesota Vikings last week, and then they did beat what team they beat the week before is shocking as shit. Was it Cleveland?
I don't think they beat. I don't know. I honestly don't remember.
It was a decent team that they beat, and it was like, wow, they really lost to. But whatever. But Buffalo. This is one of those games that Buffalo just has to win. Like Buffalo's 7-3 right now. They're trying to maintain pace with the New England Patriots. And they currently have the number 5 seed in the wild card standings. You just can't drop this game. Like you're at home, you're playing against a third string quarterback. You got to win this game, right?
Well, not only because of the situation just inside this game, but looking forward to the rest of the season, the Bills might have some of the toughest schedule remaining.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, they still run into Baltimore. They still run into the Cowboys. Yeah. They run into the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So you might as well slap the L on that one already, because I can't imagine a scenario where the Bills come out with a victory against Dallas on Thanksgiving. But then another game against New England, and I think they play the Jets again, who suddenly look at least like a real football team.
The Jets gave them hell the first game. They damn near lost that first game against the Jets.
Yeah, they sure did. It's going to be a tough rest of the schedule. And I think it sounds weird at 7-3 to talk about if they want to make the playoffs. I think they're going to have to be 8-3.
I agree. I think Buffalo's going to win this game as well. Josh Allen has been impressing me. He had a really good game last week, albeit against your Miami Dolphins. Sorry, Ed.
I don't like that you preface it as my Miami Dolphins. This year, I am not claiming that.
But hey, Josh Allen played really well, and Denver defense hasn't been living up to the. Denver always had a solid defense, and then obviously their offense is just shit. They got a third string quarterback in there. I like Lindsey, but actually Buffalo is susceptible to the run. So I would not be surprised if Lindsey was to have a good game. But I don't think it's going to be enough for them to win. Give me Buffalo. I'm going to pick a score of 24-10. Buffalo.
Okay. So I see the under there, 37.5. I am going Buffalo in a 2-0 victory over the Broncos. I think it's going to be a safety and shutout. That's my guess, because Josh Allen, I will say it now, is not the answer at quarterback. I know he was your AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week.
Bullshit, by the way.
Against my Miami Dolphins. First of all, yes, bullshit. I'm not sure how he beat Lamar Jackson, to be honest with you. It should have never happened. But, he's just not the answer, man. Let me give you a quick question. How many passes longer than 30 yards in the air has Allen completed this season?
Do you actually know a number?
I know the number.
Okay, I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say he completed 5.
5 would be amazing, because he completed 0.
Oh,
that's right.
Wow.
He has completed as many as me and you, and I have not taken a snap this year. I watched Watson yesterday.
I took 2 snaps.
You took 2 snaps? I like that. That's what's up.
You watched Watson yesterday. My bad.
You couldn't snap a Slim Jim. But you watched Watson yesterday. He had like 3 or 4 of them in the second half, right? And Allen touted for his big arm. Love the kid, love his spirit, love the way he's athletic, makes plays with his legs, but he is not the answer at quarterback. Long term for the Bills, I don't think, unless something drastic changes, and I don't see it in a year and a half of play, I don't see it changing.
I like Josh Allen. He's a likable dude, and I like his moxie, and he got swag about him. But yeah, I felt the same way about him. Like watching him play, I told like a lot of my Buffalo Bills friends that he's going to be the reason that Buffalo do not advance further than they honestly should. You know, they got an elite defense. They got a championship level type defense. Their running game is solid. Josh Allen, he's progressed better than he was last year. You know, he's definitely taken a step forward, but it hasn't been much.
I just think it's the way he took a step forward, right? It's hard to pick on a guy when the team's 7-3 and in position for a wild card with no real super talent around him. I mean, he is making at times John Brown and Cole Beasley look like studs, but I don't see it long term as a passer with him. I don't see it. He doesn't have the accuracy and that whole shtick where you're running around for dear life. That goes away very quickly in the NFL as soon as you lose a step. So,
and a lot of those things, like with the Bills, they're one of those teams that when I did my contenders and pretenders, they're a pretender to me because anytime they went against actual competition, like actual good teams, they've lost. Like their 3 losses have been against New England Patriots, the Philadelphia Eagles, and then who was their loss against?
Cleveland.
Cleveland, right. Which Cleveland isn't really a good team, but they had the talent of one. So anytime they went against any type of talent, they've lost, and then they beaten the teams they should beat, which is also good as well. But
like the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, exactly. But it's getting down to the nitty gritty. This game this should be a should win game, but then they got, like you said, they got Dallas Thanksgiving, they got Baltimore coming in, they got New England still. So we'll see what Buffalo's really made of these upcoming weeks. All right, moving on. We got the New York Giants against the Chicago Bears. Chicago is at home. Chicago is favorites, and damn, -6.5. That's pretty surprising, actually, in my opinion. The over-under is 40.5. Trubisky sucks, and I don't know if he's going to be starting. I think he got hurt, and they benched him in the fourth quarter last week, and it looks like it's going to be Chad Henne for the start this week, probably.
I was watching the end of that game, and I think you are talking about some kind of a PR spin there because I didn't see any injury there. And
allegedly
there was an injury. There was another one of those ghost injuries.
Yeah.
But I saw Nagy pull him over on the sideline and hold him lovingly for like 3 or 4 minutes and whispering sweet nothings in his ear before he made that move. So I'd have to think that was just a benching. And then afterwards there was some PR spin that goes, there was some kind of a phantom injury. But Trubisky, it's a shame. I like the kid. He seems cool too. Seems like a nice guy, but certainly not the answer. I think at one point, it probably still holds up, he was something like 40th in QBR, which means guys that were making spot starts were better than he was, with the reigning NFL Coach of the Year, who is an offensive genius at the helm. So Trubisky, not the answer. And I still like the Bears to beat the Giants this week, to be honest, though.
I like the Giants to win this game. I'm not the Chicago just aren't. I don't know, man. I just don't like Chicago. Like I liked them earlier in the season. I always felt like that defense is you have that type of defense, you're always going to be in a game. But I really haven't heard any much noise from them this year. Like since the beginning of the season, I really haven't heard shit from Khalil Mack. What he been doing this season?
Khalil Mack, I think he he packed it up and went home. He missed a couple of games due to injury, and he's been one of those guys where you double team him, and it's through his pressure on the line that sometimes leads to some defensive success. It's not always in the numbers,
right?
Because you watch him play, he passes the eye test. The guy's an animal out there. University of Buffalo product. I think we should make sure we give a shout out to all those rabid Bulls fans out there.
Shout out to UB.
But yes, I agree with your expert analysis. I like the Bears when they were 3-2. I don't like them when they're 4-6.
Yeah,
so I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm good on the Bears, man. Like their defense is ranked 8th right now. They're giving us 17.5 points right now. But I think the Giants are going to come in and win this game. I like Daniel Jones. I think Saquon can have a really good game as long as he's healthy. And I think the Giants can pull the upset on this one. The Giants are getting 6.5. I'm definitely taking that. And I think the Giants are going to win straight up, honestly. I got them winning 17-10.
That's cool. I don't blame you. I mean, Chicago's kind of fallen apart at the seams. Daniel Jones has quietly been really good again. Nobody's paying attention to him because the Giants are terrible, but he came out with some fire underneath him, and then he kind of went away out of the media for a couple of weeks when he stumbled. But very quietly over the last month or so, I think he's got 9 touchdowns and 1 pick. He's playing really good football with an injured Saquon Barkley, throwing to guys like, I think his first name is Darius Slayton is a player out there that they've got. Fantasy stud, I'll tell you that. He's put up like 35 fantasy points in back-to-back weeks, but he's Daniel Jones making the best out of a bad situation. I still think Chicago wins at home.
Okay, I like that. You got a score?